Hello, it is Heather, and we are going to be having our Copycat recipe-a-thon, or whatever the heck you want to call it. We're going to be continuing that with our Olive Garden steak Gorgonzola. And for that, you're going to need balsamic vinegar, oil, Parmesan, garlic powder, butter, cream, steak, salt and pepper for the steak, Gorgonzola cheese, sun-dried tomatoes, spinach, and fettuccine. It's really not all that complicated, so let's get going. First off, I'm going to be putting pepper and salt on the New York strip steak. Make sure I get all the sides on that. First, we're going to get our steak searing, which I'm not going to talk out with you because you probably know how to cook steak by now. Alright, we've got our butter melting in our pan, and into that we are going to add our cream. Get out our whisk and start mixing that together some. Alright, next we gotta do is add in our Parmesan cheese shredded and our garlic. We're going to give that a good meltdown and stirring, and I'll show you it in a minute. Alright, once our pasta is finished, we're going to pour it into our sauce and mix it together. Sorry for the steam. Alright, got a nice little bite of everything right here, and I'll let you know in a second. I almost forgot to stop eating to tell you that it tastes amazing. I haven't been to Olive Garden in a while because, well, you know, the last couple of years have been stupid. But if I remember right, it tastes almost exactly like it. And if not, it tastes amazing, so who cares? The only thing I didn't mention, and I didn't do it first, was put a drizzle of the balsamic reduction over it, which now I have, and tasted it with it, and it's still amazing. Well, you know Olive Garden wouldn't be complete without breadsticks. So let's go. Alright, to start off our Olive Garden breadsticks, we're going to need our yeast. Going to need warm water. Not hot, not cold. Last but not least, we're going to need a little half a teaspoon of our sugar. We're going to whisk that together and let it rest for about 5 so it can activate the yeast. Right, once that dissolved into each other a little, we are going to add a 1.5 cups of our flour. We're going to add in the remaining sugar. We're going to add in our olive oil. And we're going to get this mixed up. Alright, we added in the rest of our flour, and we used our bread hook Black & Decker attachment to knead it up into a nice firm dough. Using our hands to knead it up into a dough a little more. It's kind of hard one-handed, but once we get that into a ball, we're going to let it sit with a towel over it for about an hour while it rises. Then we'll be back to make it breadsticks. Alright, after we let it rise, we formed it into little long, well, breadstick looking like shapes, or poo, either way. We're going to put that into the oven at 425 for about 10 to 13 minutes. And I put a sprinkle of salt and garlic powder on top of each one after I put melted butter on them. I'm only making 4 just to try it out. I have the rest of the dough. I can always make up more later, but I'm kind of iffy about it, so I guess we'll see. Alright, definitely don't look as smooth as Olive Garden breadsticks, but they are crunchy and have the light brown on them. Looking good. Alright, you know the drill. Let's try it. Alright, I ate the little end off of this one, and I gotta say, they're not bad. They're a little tiny bit dense in the middle, but that's okay. I mean, that doesn't make them really bad. They're definitely not Olive Garden, though.